Hello again and welcome. In this video I'm going to talk about and demonstrate the basic CCU controller. Controls 4 cameras, and we're going to talk about the paint mode. What the paint mode does is it allows the 4 knobs to paint a single camera, and in this case the CCUA knob, or the first one, will be the paint red gains. The second one will be paint blue paint green gains, paint blue gains, and paint Y, or RGB, all 3 RGBs. Let's call it Y. The pedestal CCUA position knob is going to be paint blacks for red, then paint blacks for green, paint blacks for blue, and you guessed it, paint blacks for all of them. Now this particular knob here, for all of them, is the same as the pedestal control, which is all part of the ATEM protocol. By pressing the shift button here on the side and adjusting any of the IRS for CCUA, B, C and D, will do the gammas. So press shift and adjust the first knob, will adjust the red gammas, then the green gammas, then the blue gammas, and then all the gammas, or all Y gammas, luminous gammas. If that wasn't complicated enough, nothing else will be. So what we do to enter the paint mode is that we just hold our finger on the shift button on the side and then press which camera you want to adjust or paint. So let's just go for camera 1, and when I do that, you'll notice that the LEDs will show red, green, blue and white, indicating they're the colours that each particular knob will do, and the selected camera will actually flash. Now it's a bit confusing because the blue is flashing but it's not actually turning off, so it's the LED that's actually turning off and on is the camera we're adjusting. The reason the blue's doing that is because it's getting interference from this one here due to the way it's controlled through the dimming process. But anyhow, don't get confused with it. It's not the one being adjusted, obviously, because it's not going off. You see it's just changing in intensity, where this is completely turning off. So here we are now in the paint mode, and we've selected camera 1 to do the paint, because that's what's been allocated to the position on the CCU controller. You can, again, like in the advanced mode, you can actually press another camera to preview it. You can see up here as I'm pressing, and it's always going back to the camera that we are actually controlling. There it is on the waveform. You can see I can press the other cameras and you can see it's controlling, it's selecting the required camera. So now here we can adjust the red, green and blue and Y gains, and we can adjust the red, green, blue and Y blacks. As I said, that's also pedestal. And in the iris mode has 2 controls. This is in normal mode. When you're controlling the iris, you can actually program it to not control the iris, because some cameras can't control the iris. But if you can control the gain, this will be the iris control when you've got that selected. But that's for another video. But at the moment, we have red, green, blue and Y for gains, and as I said, the button on the side being held down while we're adjusting will adjust the gammas. So let me just show you. We're on camera CCU position A, which has camera 1 allocated to it, and as I turn the red gain up, you'll see the red gain is going up, and as I turn the red gain down, it's going down. Now this is just in normal mode. If I hold my finger on the black button, it puts it into coarse mode. So you saw me doing the adjustment that's in non-coarse, that's in normal mode. And then if I hold my finger down, you'll see it can do it in much bigger steps, so you can bring it a lot more into range. as you can see by that waveform there, blue appears to be down. We're under fluoro lights here, so that'd be probably the reason why. So I can actually go over to the blue knob here, blue gains. Let's get a bit of focus. So go over to the blue gains, and then you can see now I can then wind that up, or I can hold my finger down coarse, and oh, button, there you go. You can see I can wind it up there. So that's coarse. And again, we can do the blacks. So let's just wind the blue blacks down. There you can see I can actually hold my finger down on the button and get coarse mode out of it, and go back to fine mode, and then we can just do the fine adjustment there. There's green and there's red, and then if I just go and use the overall black, that would be pedestal. And, there you go. It's just exactly the same as doing the pedestal. If you have a look over here, you can see it's also doing a pedestal over on the software control panel. And as I mentioned before, we have the gammas, so that we can hold our finger on the shift button, and then I can turn the knob and I can do the gammas as well. During all this process, if you have a terminal window open, you can see up here on the terminal window, I just select it, it actually will display all the information as you're adjusting. So as I'm adjusting, say, the gains, you can see the values are adjusting here. That's all the gains being adjusted, and the gammas. Do that. Gammas are over here. Oh, there are, there's gammas there. That's gammas being adjusted, and then that's blacks being adjusted for all the colours. The other interesting thing that you might probably I missed in the last video, but if you this Bixby button on this Galaxy gets in the way all the time. These values will always show you whatever values are actually on the coming out of the ATEM. So if I go over here and adjust the values on the ATEM like this, you come up here and you'll see that those values are changing up here as well. So the CCU controller is always aware of the values that are currently being changed anywhere else in the system, and will always reflect those values back here. Now, as per the last video, in advanced mode, in paint mode, we can also change the camera we're adjusting. And so if I just show you up here, that's our camera 1. If I go to camera 2, you see how greeny yellow it is. So I would now want to go straight over to camera 2 and adjust. So as all we can do, we can push the preview, but if we push and hold, you'll see now that we've selected the second CCU position camera, which is in my setting as camera 2. And now when I'm in that particular setting, I can now go in and adjust that, and we'll do it on the monitor. What I'm going to do is I'm going to adjust the blue. So I'm going to go up here and have a look at the blue. So all I'm doing is winding blue in. Oh, that's green. See, hold the wrong button. Okay. So frame it up. You can see now the blue's coming into it. And for all you people who know how to use CCU, you can match them pretty quickly. Just quickly selecting the master camera. Say that was my master camera, which is now all magenta, but that's because I cranked it all out of shape. That's the other camera. Now what I did just before I made this video, I actually got all three of these cameras all perfectly matched on the lineup board. I did it all within about 3 minutes, and that's pretty good. So if you're out in operation, out on the field using it, that's how pretty quick you can do it. And here's an interesting concept for you. This is your same box that you're using to control your iris and blacks, which is the basic operation. What I did on a job recently, after I did the paint mode software, I actually had 2 of these boxes working 4 cameras. So I had one box. One of these was just doing the iris and black as it's designed, and the other one was sitting permanently in paint mode. So in one hand I was doing the iris and blacks, and in this hand I was changing any colours as needed, which wasn't that often, but we were shooting outdoor and we had a lot of flare, changing colours and different angles. So it was quite useful to have 2 of them, both dedicated to their own particular function. So that's another interesting little concept. That's paint mode. If you have any questions, send me an email. I'm more than happy to answer them. Thank you.